Hey folks, this video is intended to be a tour of the Nikka Yuko Japanese Gardens, but unfortunately I mistimed it by a few days and they're still closed. Inside this building there's usually a gift shop, some washrooms, some art installations, and a little cafe. And unfortunately also closed on this side. We'll follow this trail down and take a look at where you usually buy tickets and the pathway to the gardens itself. Very scenic area, lots of folks take photographs here, so we'll let these guys get their photos done and then we'll be on our way.
That's right.
Some beautiful lion sculptures. And this is where you usually get your tickets to enter the gardens. It's a very nice building, nice craftsmanship. Beautiful pathway leading up to the double doors that will usually let you enter into the gardens. And as we take a peek inside, we can see there's massive construction being done. Take a peek around this side as well, see if we could get a little sneak peek at the gardens. Not the end of the world that it's closed today. This is actually part of a bigger pathway that goes around Henderson Lake here in Lethbridge, Alberta, and we'll sneak around here and go for a little walk around the lake. We're now around the side wall of the Japanese garden, joining to the pathway that goes around the lake. There's a little water park here. This pathway is about 3 or 4 kilometers around. I think there's a few more kilometers of outside trails and such. I think in total it adds up to about 7 kilometers of pathways. That's about 5 miles. Just a beautiful spring day. All the ducks are out, birds, sound of nature. We'll keep walking around the path. There's a fair bit of foot traffic. I'll try not to record anybody too much. Around the path there's all sorts of signs and infographics telling you a little bit about the history of the area and the types of birds you'll see. A little M. Night Shyamalan cameo from yours truly. Lots of spots to get right up to the water. Sometimes you'll see some fish, crawfish, crabs. Water's pretty clear, you can see a few feet down. In summer it gets a little bit murkier. Remember, there's no swimming in these lakes. You can bring boats on. I'd be very wary about the water. There's so much bird feces in there. You're very likely to get a skin infection. The popular and deadly Canadian cobra chicken. These things can be very dangerous and have been known to charge at people walking by. A fair bit of mallards, I believe they're called, the ducks with the green and blue heads. Seems to be a fair bit of honking going on there. Cobra chicken party. This buddy here appears to be doing some fishing. I don't think he's got anything yet, but we'll take a peek around and see if we do find some of those elusive fish. Some of these trees just getting their first buds for spring. There's a fair bit of sitting and picnic areas around here. Close call, quite dangerous. There's this little strip that offers nice panoramic views of making it seem as if you're in the lake. But we're probably going to avoid that today. The geese really are out in numbers today. This is usually a good spot to see the fish swim by. They come from around the bridges area, but it doesn't look like there's any right now. There's a few of these bridges around. You can just kind of lean over the edge and stare into the water. You might see some fish, some of those crabs and crawfish. There's some public washrooms here and some signs for concessions, but I don't think I've ever seen any of them open. We're about a third of the way through. This would make some awesome firewood for future camping, but I don't think I'm strong enough to haul any of these back to the car. These couple of bridges go to a shorter inner loop, but we'll connect back to the outside loop and we'll look at a few interesting things. Still no signs of fish. Up ahead's a really nice looking golf course. I don't really golf, but it still looks nice. Some leftover snacks from the feast. These look like little crab claws or crawfish claws. Quite a fair bit of them scattered on this side. The birds tend to just grab them up and chomp the soft middle bodies and leave the claws out here. They'd be fairly decent size, considering the claws about half a length of my finger. We're now on the far east side of the lake, and on the outer trail we've got some nice cannons. Nicely decorated and well kept. Great restoration by whoever's been doing these. It really might be our last line of defense if we ever did have a massive goose invasion. Some outstanding citizens cramped some garbage down in here. I can't even get my arm in there to clean it out. Remember, folks, don't be a jerk. Another very well kept piece of history here. If you know what kind of tank this is, please shoot a note in the comment. I couldn't find any signs anywhere around. We're getting into some dangerous territory here. Lots goose shit all over the trail, and to the left side, the golf course. It's not unusual to see some balls flying across this pathway. I'm not very stealthy, but I'll try to sneak up on this little fella here. I think that's a carp. There's a couple of them. This one's the closest. And a little ways down, we found a few more. There's about 6 or 7 here. They're a little bit further out. Sometimes I wish I had a real-time zoom lens on this. You could see these few fellas up here. They look like some good size too, at least 2 feet long. Man, it's really starting to come alive here. Sounds almost like a university dorm party. That golf course is looking lush and green. It's very nice and interesting sidewalk art. That's some kind of sea cow, I'm assuming. We're almost all the way back to the start now, but this last little bridge, it's usually a nice spot to kind of see some fish as well. We'll take a peek down here. Not really a whole lot going on, and we'll take a peek on the other side as well. And we've made it around the majority of the lake portion, and heading back now, we see the back side of the Japanese Gardens. At the very beginning, I didn't think we'd see this many fish, but we seem to have a very healthy fish population still going. This is the backside of the Japanese Gardens. I'll attempt to come back here and do a proper video of the actual inside of the Japanese Gardens and not just the outside. However, the walk around the lake is always very refreshing. I really enjoy it. So much to see. Lots of little things, lots of objects and art, fish, birds, wildlife, lots of things to see. I don't usually do this, but I'm trying to gear up for a different type of video in the future. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. I'm really trying to build this social YouTube following. So if you've gotten this far, make sure and hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, get them to subscribe. I think the future will be very cool. And just like that, metaphorically and physically, we've come full circle. In film, a little bit of trivia, that's called the panellipsis. I've never really been to this part of the park, but it's a court for a game of horseshoes. You kind of stand on either side and throw your horseshoes or something like that. I'm sure one day I will learn.